Good afternoon, guys. We're going to talk today about TikTok scientist. I don't know. That's the names sometimes evolve. TikTok scientist. We'll tie it in, and we'll see how we like that particular nomenclature. Epigenetics is what we're going to talk about today. We're actually going to talk about how this is a stupid word. It's a brand new science. It's a new science. The guys that really named epigenetics got a Nobel Peace Prize, finding out that there's more DNA inside of our DNA, more information locked inside of our DNA is fucking cool. We're just now getting to the point where we can observe this, and it's still this massive task, but there's more information. You share most of your DNA with every other living thing on the planet. There was a rumor that a carrot had the most shared DNA with a human. What? A carrot has a bunch of human DNA? That's crazy. And it turns out that's a load of shit. Everything on the planet shares our DNA. Everything on the planet shares our DNA. We weren't made in the sky by a magical gift giver, a magical genie handing out wishes. We weren't made by fucking aliens. We share DNA with everything on this planet. The food that grows, the trees outside, all of the other animals. The difference between us and them, one is negligible, but it's interchangeable. When we grow a human ear on a mouse so that we can implant a human ear on someone that doesn't have an ear, they've lost an ear, been born without an ear. Very fucking beautiful. What we've changed is epigenetic tag. The only reason the mouse shares the same DNA you've got, the only reason that your mouse is growing a mouse arm instead of a human arm is because there's a little tag on that DNA that says, hey, remember you're a fucking mouse, grow a mouse arm. But we can change that tag and we can grow a human part on that mouse and vice versa. Once in a while a human will pop out and it'll have a part from another animal. We haven't screwed with anything, and this isn't just deformity. A human will pop out with a crab claw. But it's fully operational. You might go, wow, those are weird looking fingers. They aren't weird looking fingers. That means that we have the crab's DNA inside of us, locked in there, because we evolved together. At some point, the crab evolved from a human, or the human evolved from the crab, and those DNAs are both still in there. It makes some people feel a little bit uncomfortable to realize how kind of milquetoast we are. We like to believe that we're the top species, and that gives us the right to destroy this planet and look down on the other animals, eat the other animals willy-nilly without having a conscience about it. I'm not weighing in on whether or not that's the case. I eat meat all day long. However, I make sure that the meat is ethically sourced. Nice people. I don't just go, hey, I'll just eat any old thing I'm a human. I'm the thing from the sky. God made me in his fucking image. It's just dumb. We need to take it down so fucking far. So fucking far. We do not have the right to destroy this planet. We are not anything special. Our language is not more complex than any other animal's language on this planet. A bee's language is far more complex. A dolphins' language is 1,000 times more evolved. It's insane. These guys evolved sonar. They didn't invent sonar, but they can make it another location to break down. They evolved sonar inside of their sensing, hunting, and communication system. What the fuck? That's insanity for us to go. We're up here, and these dumbass dogs that evolved internal GPS, drop a dog off anywhere on the face of the fucking planet, it knows home's over there. It evolved fucking GPS. We need to take it down 1,000%. But then understand that not only are we not unique to the crab, we either came from the crab came from us, or we came from the same thing, and we're both walking around with full sets, full blueprints of the other one. And we can see this epigenetic change. Let's talk about how stupid a word this is. Epigenetics, as it was named by the first scientists, is a noun, meaning there's an epigenetic tag on this section of DNA that's going to express a human leg instead of a mouse leg. Now, we did some cool tests in the EU. We checked genomic switches, and there's 21,000 of them, more or less. I want to say that in Spanish. I couldn't locate the English words. More or less 21,000 switches. We checked them. Then we told these nice people in the study, hey, you're normally lethargic people. We've chosen you for this reason. We want you to do 20 minutes of exercise every afternoon instead of being lethargic. These people changed 7,000, 1/3 of the switches in their genome by moving one fucking habit. People, they unlock all sorts of amazing new DNA inside of their bodies. This is fascinating. Unfortunately, then people said, hey, this is the field of epigenetics. And so we saw clinics opening up, advertising epigenetics. Epigenetic holistic therapy. All kinds of different names, but using the same word as a verb. If an epigenetic is a tag on the DNA that specifies this is going to express disease, allergy, mouse genes, if this tag is the name, then the manipulation of that tag would not be called epigenetics. That's dumb. We need a verb. We need a new verb that means to manipulate the epigenetic tag. It's very easy to just say, hey, this is epigenetics. But that's just adding an apostrophe and an S to this existing word. The two things are two completely different things. One is naming what it is, the other one is this entirely new field of manipulating those tags. And so we need a better word, but so amazing. Of course, what we're talking about over here, biodensity mechanics, is going to be the study of how fluid these are, but not in relation to habits. Your body is basing larger decisions on the measurement of the species-specific energies where you live. So it's fascinating when we see these things on TikTok. We're going to see regularly genetic abnormalities. There's a beautiful beautiful young lady right now, and her little tagline lots of times says, how I be walking around on gym day, leg day. She's got this huge, beautiful ass, and she's just sort of barely moving, barely bobbing up and down, and this huge ass is just slapping the back of her legs. Every female on the planet looked exactly like that when we had right to life, right to procreate. Right to life and right to procreate, because we were living with our species-specific energies. Your job was to choose between the 4 billion females that were walking around with this huge juicy ass that just blew your mind. Now this young lady is extremely tall, male height, male hands, a little bit masculine in the face. But we've got a strong, huge, prominent female nipple. We have got the female lips, female-ish lips, and then this huge, beautiful female butt. Now the masculinity portion is of course the mix that everybody is walking around with, but we're still capable of expressing actual sexuality and life. It's so fucking beautiful, people. Every time that gal pops on the thing, I'm not gonna like it or follow it, or that's all I'm gonna see is girls shaking up their ass on there. However, I can't take my eyes off of it. The actual human female is a breathtaking, jaw-dropping thing. No matter where I'm at, my breath just goes away for a minute. I'm like, very beautiful. And of course, every female had that tool. And all she had to do, she'd spend her entire teenage years grabbing a hold of a dress or whatever she had to make sure this thing wasn't bouncing around. And then one day she'd say, that's the one. And she'd let go of that dress and walk past you with normal force, and that beautiful ass would just bounce upside down, up and down, slapping against those legs, and your DNA would literally be broken in half and then rewritten. You would be one thing before she walked past you and a new animal after she walked past you. Amazing people. Some of the other ones we'll see on there, we'll see cats that are raised with dogs. There's a little short of dogs running upstairs, just clumsy 2x4s sticking out in every single way. These dogs are running up these wooden stairs. And then the last one, this cat elegantly, with its back perfectly perpendicular to the staircase, goes right up the stairs as though it's this beautiful machine that was only made to go up these stairs perfectly and symmetrically. Absolutely beautiful DNA. The dog's just tails wagging, just this mess of bones slapping its way up the stairs, and then this cat beautifully goes up. But if we raise a cat with dogs, we'll unlock dog DNA. It's not just copying. The cat is walking around with the dog's DNA. The dog is walking around with the cat's DNA. We're actually going to unlock dog DNA, and now this cat is going to run clumsily like a dog. It's going to have its tongue just hanging out of its mouth like it's this clumsy dog. When it gets to where it's going, it's going to flop down like a dog. Everything a cat does is elegant. If a cat falls off a fucking fridge, it turns into something absolutely elegant. It starts out a shit whip, and you're going, look at that fucking cat getting shit whipped, and the cat flips over and lands perfectly and says, Fuck you. I'm a cat, goddammit. I don't get shit whipped. I am the shit whipper. I am not the shit whippy. I am the shit whipper. That's not what happens to cats. Unless we unlock dog DNA in that cat, then all of a sudden that cat's gonna get shit whipped. Probably not gonna give a shit, as dogs don't. Either. Cats normally don't want anything to do with water. But if you raise them with dogs, all of a sudden this genetic dislike for water disappears. And now when all the dogs run out and go for a big swim, jumping in this water clumsy as all hell, this cat is going to do the same thing, just belly flapping into the water and then swimming as a dog swims. If we start, you're in this fish tank, and they're saying everything's normal, everything's normal, everything's normal, everything's normal. And so you're not seeing these things and being blown away going, hey, I can see genetics right now. I can infer enough scientific information to start basing my own opinions, basing my science on my own opinions of these things. This shit's obvious. This shit's just obvious. I don't need some asshole to write some fucking extremely scientific, dry, crazy, non-legible report that nobody can read unless this is all they do for a fucking living. I can see genetics at work right there. Right there. It's so beautiful. There's little baby chicks. I got 40 chickens out here. Chickens don't like water, dude. They like drinking water, but if you try to put a chicken in the water, he's going to be pissed. There's actually a chicken in the pool this morning. They don't like it. They don't know how to get out. They sit in the water. They get sucked into the filter, and they just sit there until their head gets too tired. If you don't get them out before their head gets too tired, they drown just because they can't keep their head up anymore. They don't know what to do with water unless we raise a baby chicken with a duck, and then all of a sudden we unlock duck genetics inside of the chicken, and all of a sudden the chicken knows exactly how to swim on the water. This guy just sinks. They just sink in the water and go, well, if somebody doesn't get me out of here, I'm fucked, I'm dead. They'll literally just die. But if we put a baby chick in with a bunch of baby ducks get in the water. This chicken isn't self-aware and saying, okay, how are you doing this? I'm going to learn how to do this other thing. We unlock this epigenetic tab, and all of a sudden, for survival, this animal pops open, looks through this little Rolodex and pops open this genetic code for a different fucking species and just does what everybody else does. So fucking cool, guys. When you can just see science and go, hey, wait a minute, that's our current understanding, the current scientific community's version of what's going on, Google's version of what's going on, the church's version that they're selling us of what's going on does not explain that. It says it's mom plus dad plus time, that's it. If you were born with diabetes, you're just going to get diabetes. Mom got diabetes at 14, dad got diabetes at 16, you're going to get diabetes at 15 years old. That's it. Maybe you can move it to 14 and a half or 15 and a half, but that's it. You're just waiting for your prognosis. And that's a load of shit. We can become healed, every single one of us. You can unlock, if you're predisposed to getting allergies. But you correct the math. You walk the fuck out of that predisposition, people. You walk the fuck out of that predisposition. All of a sudden, the right hemisphere unlocks. and says, hey, you know how yesterday I was saying let's eat some bullshit, some carbohydrates, and relax all day? Fuck that noise. Let's eat some beautiful proteins, some green vegetables. Let's go for a fucking run today. Why wouldn't we? I don't understand what we were thinking yesterday. Let's go do this. And now the allergies disappear, and now we unlock another section of DNA, and all of a sudden, we're thin without effort. We are muscular without effort. I'm not a good-looking specimen, a good-looking human. However, there's absolutely no arguing that I'm not a masculine human. Not the most. There's great big guys out there with real deep, I'm Randy Savage voices. There's definitely guys walking around with more testosterone out there. But you cannot argue that I am not masculine. The shoulders are wider than the waist. There's ab muscles, as in my 100 years of age. It's every situation I get put in, everybody just looks at me to figure out what to do. I'm the boss of whatever natural disaster happens to come in my direction, not because I am, should be, or I've got that place in the community. I smell like I'm the boss. How come? Because I got 50 fruit trees where I live. I bought a house that had no fruit trees. That's a lot. 3 fruit trees, 1 avocado trees, and 2 coconut trees that were dead and hadn't produced fruit in 12 years were left alive. We brought those back to health and then planted another 50 fruit trees. Intentionally, we changed the math. That's why I'm alive. Now, luckily, as a child, there were some coincidences, very fortunate coincidences. When I was born, when I was becoming a human being in my mother's womb, and then when I was going through puberty, where we had correct math. Luckily, and that has allowed me to maintain this, beautiful people. However, it's not coincidence. It's not mom plus dad plus time. It's not magical. It's not gifted to me because I spent enough time staring up at the fucking sky with my hands clasped. I unclasped those motherfuckers, guys. I planted those trees. I'm not saying I'm bigger than God. There's absolutely, every human can sense that there's somebody organizing this thing. Somebody absolutely beautiful, but if they wanted to be named, they would give you their name. This person, this entity, has said, hey, I prefer to remain anonymous. And I think the least we can do is to respect that. To have that mystery that has been presented to us is the honest thing. For nasty humans that want to steal your money to say, hey, we've written a book, humans have written a book that has 20 different personalities of this creator. Every other word, first he's going to save everybody, then he's going to kill everybody, then he's going to save everybody, then he's going to kill everybody. It's an eye for an eye. If somebody does you wrong, you cut that eye out the next moment. Well, if somebody slaps you, you turn the other cheek and let them slap you again. Where the fuck did eye for an eye go? Guys, I don't really need to waste my time on any of that shit. If you're into that, you're probably not here. This is not at all an anti-God. It's stop slapping God in the goddamn face. He's given us as much information as he wanted to. God is not in any goddamn building that has 0 species-specific energies in it. You walk in that building, you become dead. Your body is measuring those energies. We got to respect the math first. You cannot, you have to put your own mask on first. You can't run out and say, hey, I'm going to go into the city and tell everybody, hey, you got to start growing plants. There ain't no goddamn plants in that city. You're going to die trying to save everybody else. You got to get that oxygen mask on yourself first, logic says. If you're in that airplane and you're that empath that wants to help everybody, motherfucker, you better get that oxygen on you first, or you're going to pass out. Who's going to help everybody then? There ain't going to be nobody left to help anybody. If all the empaths help everybody else before they put the mask on themselves, you're all going to pass out. All the selfish people that wouldn't help anybody else aren't going to help anybody. If you're inclined to help people, you got to be healthy. You got to be able to bring this to them. How can you help them if you aren't? An example of this, if you correct the math, your body is going to become human. My body isn't beautiful, but it's masculine. The shoulders are much wider than the waist. There's abs in my 1,000-year-old body that should not be there. I'm not doing any abdominal exercise. I simply unlock correct math. Biodensity mechanics dictates if I have correct math, I'm going to open up that person with the claw hand. Opened up a section of DNA we didn't know was still in there. That duck opened up, or I'm sorry, that chicken with the ducklings opened up a section of DNA. You can just open up those sections of DNA. Amazing people. We're curing cancer all over the world, but we're not curing it. We're simply alerting the human body, hey, that's cancer, and the human body immediately cures the cancer. What's that mean, though? What's that mean that they're not telling you? What's the question they're not asking? If the human body was capable of curing that cancer the entire time, and we've tricked the human body into curing that cancer, why was it not curing the cancer in the first place? You didn't do shit. You tricked the human body into curing one cancer, but if you have not corrected the math and offered the right to life, the body is simply going to allow another cancer or another health situation. Nice people. We have to correct the math. Let me see how we're doing on time. I've got no spare time today. All right. Let me get a quick drink of water. Nice people. The things that you can unlock inside of this body are astounding. The changes that we see in people on a regular basis. We see females come in with love handles, no butt, man hands, man height, man eyes, man lips, man butt, everything. We correct the math. The somatic switch, click, switches, and all of a sudden love handles suck inside, and then a beautiful female ass is expressed. The love handle sucks in, these beautiful, huge female lips pop out. All of these actresses are having shit pumped into their lips, but the body says, oh shit, we've got garbage in the lips, and the body gets rid of it, so they have to keep pumping up their lips. Pumping up their lips, pumping up their lips. If we unlock the right to procreate, your own body is going to take fat from someplace disgusting and put it in your lips and your butt to attract the opposite sex. We're unlocking these sections of DNA. Everybody's trying to fight it. hey, my body's trying to make me a fat person. I'm going to jam myself with $1,000 worth of skinny person liquids that have side effects, cost $1,000 and have health side effects, the permanent ones we don't even know about. We're seeing instant ones on eyesight, liver, all sorts of things, but the long-term ones we don't know. There's no long-term studies. It's new medicine. It shouldn't be this common. People are swapping this stuff on Facebook all day long when we don't even know the side effects of the people that it's prescribed to. And that's temporary. It's only going to last as long as you're jamming yourself with this. A lot of these people are saying, hey, if I could be skinny the rest of my life, I'll just jab myself with this pill the rest of your life. Guess what? That's one microorganism that makes that chemical. You're missing 999 others. To be happy, to be content, to be motivated, to be thin, to be masculine, to have your human sex and your human sexuality to attract the opposite sex is not just a matter of pumping shit inside of your lips. There's an entire body that can be expressed for free, accompanied by chemicals that will attract the opposite sex, accompanied by you feeling content inside of a relationship. If you fight this system, you're going to be one of those females that attracts the male and then says, hey, why is this guy fighting with me? Your own hand is going to put an object in the living room and then you'll say, who the fuck put this here? And the guy will say, hey, this person's crazy. There's two of us here. Obviously, she put that there. And now she's yelling at me for who put this here. The last guy did this to me. The last guy before him did this to me. Everybody's putting a thing. We're saying, chick, you put that there. You're yelling at me for putting that there. You put that there. This female is unaware. The right half has unlocked. We cannot procreate. We have to sense there is an attack. No matter how much shit you pump in your lips, no matter how many pictures you take with some weird ass angle that makes it look like you have a butt you don't have, if you attract that male, your right hand, without you knowing, is going to start some fight. Over and over and over. When you speak to people in America that are having relationship troubles, they're saying, hey, I've started 15 relationships this year, but I'm dating the exact same person over and over and over. I don't know how they know that this is my trigger, but every single one of them is the exact same male. I just attract the exact same male. No, your right hand, your right hemisphere is starting fights that you're unaware of, that you have no recollection of. You're remembering attacks that have never transpired, but to you, they're 100% real. It's from your brain. You're not crazy, it must be real. You can't fight these systems, people. You must unlock right to procreate if you want to actually feel content inside of these things. Just pumping up your lips, just wearing those booty shorts or wearing some Spanx and trying to push things around, at some point you got to take them pants off, babe. And he's going to say, hey, you advertised females' body parts. Where'd those go? I'm not saying on a superficial level, on a chemical, on a genetic level, you've used tricks to attract the opposite sex. And on a genetic level, he's going to be saying, as a human animal, not as some pervert, the genetics are going to say, hey, there was an advertisement saying there was an ass here. Where'd that go? This person is not going to feel comfortable on a genetic level because, of course, males are looking for femininity, which is something we're not seeing in America, except for that one guy. Wowza, that ass. It's amazing. The other thing it says is OOTD. I don't really know what that means. But you still just watch you doing that thing, man. Watch you doing that thing. Got no complaints whatsoever. I don't need to understand everything. Very beautiful, very cool. I want you guys to start seeing things through this new lens. You're being fed information all wrong, all wrong, all wrong. Right now, let's go ahead and give you some information that you're receiving on a regular basis. What if I'm the coffee lobby and I want you to buy more fucking coffee? I only have $1 billion to spend, but I'm going to spend that billion. I'm going to get $2 billion back for the company. I'm going to get a big bonus. So what am I going to do? What we need is some science for the American people so that they can see how beneficial coffee is. Coffee is a poison. That's why your body goes real fast. You put a poison inside of you right now. You're in a genetic situation called first death, where your body is trying to put your body inside of the soil, so it's saying, you know what my jammy jam is? Fucking poison. Let's put a bunch of sugar in there. Let's put high fructose corn syrup in that bitch. Let's put a bunch of sugar up in here. Let's put some fucking ice cream up in here. And then let's put a couple extra shots of poison, fucking neurotoxin. Neurotoxin, we've been taught means little toxin, nonchalant toxin, okay toxin. That's not what it means. It means a poison that's specific to your brain. I'm not saying a poison specific to your body would be better. I am saying if it said poison specific to your brain, you'd probably be a little bit more cautious about it. But in fact, it is a neurotoxin. Doesn't mean tiny toxin, it means a toxin that works on your brain. You take it, your brain freaks out and says, oh fuck, go real fast. If I drink coffee, my body shuts off. I don't fall down. My body says, hey dude, you're about to go to sleep. Probably better if you sat down. Then I just go out. I'm very grateful for that response, but understand my genetic response, differing from your genetic response, is I'm alive. I've corrected the math. We've hit this switch. I'm alive. My body is saying, hey dude, that's a toxin. That's just poison. Don't do that. Your mind's gonna run. You drink a cup of coffee and then you go, oh fuck, I think somebody's doing something to me. I think somebody's out to get me. You go on this weird fucking run, and then when you get done, you go, you know what I want? More fucking coffee. That don't make no goddamn sense. But if you're the coffee lobbyist guy, all you gotta do is go and say, hey, I need to get 19 people that have cancer right now. I need 19 people that are already on a cancer treatment or have a cancer that's going to be cured. Doesn't matter how. Now, I'm going to ask those 19 people to also drink coffee. And now we're going to set up a scientific study where we have 19 people that have cancer that drank coffee and that have become cured of cancer. Now, what's that study say? Well, we're going to pay the news to do a spot on this. Right after it, we're going to have a coffee commercial. Hey, buy our coffee. But the news piece is going to be very specifically tailored. That news person, if they were a good reporter, would say, hey, is there any other things that are making this person cured of cancer? Are they also on chemotherapy? Are they also on a therapy that would cure them of cancer? Is it a cancer that has a 99% recovery rate? And so we already know what the outcome is, and the coffee is on top of that? Is this gratuitous science? But of course that reporter's getting paid. to do this little sweetheart piece. And so they're going to say 19 people went on the study. Okay, they all had cancer. How many died of the cancer? How many died of the cancer? And they're going to say, none of them died. They're going to say, what? What? This is amazing. Well, how'd they do? How many of them became cured? 19. What? We've cured cancer with coffee. We can do that with anything, people. Everything you're being given is that. It's not science. It's the opposite of science. It's sponsored science, which 100% of the time has the outcome that they want. Nice people, you must become your own scientist, but you must allow your minds to be blown by the miracles that you're seeing every day. When we see that cat running with that sloppy form of a dog, and then just eating shit into the couch. That's not what cats do, and you can't learn that. We've unlocked. We hit that somatic switch, and we've unlocked some dog DNA inside of a fucking cat. What the fuck? Chickens cannot swim. They certainly can't decide they're going to float up on top of the water like a goddamn duck. But if you watch the little short, you're going to see a chicken get in the water without webbed feet and keep up with the little ducklings. So fucking beautiful. Allow your mind to be blown. You see so much stimulation in a day. Kind of hard to be impressed anymore, right? They call it popcorn brain. You're so starved for stimulation because you have so much stimulation. You know, if it's not the girl with the huge bouncing butt, you know, you're going, wait, where's stimulation? Where is the stimulation at? You got no chemicals inside of your brain to feel stimulation on top of it. It's a difficult situation to be in. However, fascinating. I want you to be TikTok scientists. I like it. Let's keep it. I want you to become TikTok scientists. Nice people. I don't know if that's a good application for people. This may age poorly. However, I want you to receive these amazing miracles. We're unlocking genetic code all over the place, and we can see it with our own eyes. Allow yourself, trust yourself. Be amazed by this and understand we can unlock this using stimulus, correct mathematics, where we spend time. If you're spending time at home and then you're going to work for 8 hours, understand you're doing damage. Either you need to correct the math at work, or you need to work from home, or you need to switch careers. Most of the people that follow this discipline are going to end up, you know, I don't want to say working from home like they're still doing the same shit job. They're going to end up using their little mini farm, using their little hobby farm to manufacture the money they need. But the amount of money that they need, it's going to go so far down. I own a car. It's a badass convertible Mustang. However, I ride my bicycle everywhere. I just have a cute little car sitting at the house. There's absolutely no reason. I'm a grown-ass man. I need to own a vehicle. But insurance here costs $20 a year. If you don't drive your car, gasoline costs nothing. And once a month, I buy a little part and bolt it onto my American muscle car. I'm from Detroit. The car's from Detroit. We're both stamped, man. We're both stamped. And, getting a wrench on that badass car once in a while, man, that masculinity is unlocked, y'all. I want a wrench on my car. I want to hear that engine. Wow! When I fire that bitch up, the neighbors know about it. when girls come over to my house, they say, "Hey, Steven, I want to spend some time with you, and afterwards, I'd like to be dropped off at my house in that Mustang." However, we don't have to use those. We don't have to use those things. I got a little tiny motorcycle. It's actually a badass motorcycle. I extended quite a bit, so it looks like one of those motorcycles for going up hills. Super badass, but it sits drops of gas. Little tiny motor. It's the muffler's super loud, so it sounds like it's this muscle moto, and yeah, it's false advertising. However, my transportation is the bicycle. Thousands and thousands of miles a year. Thousands and thousands of miles a year, guys. There's a tiny bit of masculinity. Mostly science. Mostly science, guys. Guys, I gotta piece it out. Be amazed, my TikTok scientists. Be amazed. You guys are super important to me. I'm gonna do this again real soon.